Well, Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack, thank you, sir, for joining us.
I'm happy to be with you.
The agriculture industry strongly supports this bipartisan infrastructure plan because it would upgrade transportation networks and with it the flow of goods. To what extent and when could it help slow rising food prices?
Well, there are a couple issues here. I think, first of all, improving the transportation system will allow us to maintain our competitive edge in exports for American agricultural products and also allow us to have easier flow into our grocery stores in terms of imports. So it should stabilize supply, and that should obviously have a positive impact on prices. But more importantly, it allows us to maintain that competitive edge. It allows us to have farmers continue to have stable prices and also the jobs that are supported by exports and the jobs that will be created through the construction projects. When you improve the transportation system, you put people to work at good paying jobs all across the country. So this is a very big deal for rural America in particular. Expanded access to broadband, that is just tremendously important in terms of telemedicine, distance learning.
What kind of technology comes with broadband access that farmers can then use to increase productivity and crop yields and maybe even bring down prices for consumers?
Precision agriculture, the ability to be very precise with the inputs, which reduces costs for farmers, allows them to be more productive. You cannot have precision agriculture in terms of identifying how much fertilizer you should put on, how much herbicide you should apply, how much water is required in every acre without the ability to have access to high-speed broadband. And then once you have a market, once you have a crop, you want to be able to market it and you want to be able to maximize the price that you get for that crop. That's hard to do if you don't have real-time information in terms of what the markets are currently paying.
In addition to problems that many are having with the roadways and ports that we have in moving goods, farmers are also facing supply chain problems due to a shortage of truck drivers and food processing workers. Also, you have the risk of cyber attacks. So how does this infrastructure bill address those challenges that have also fed the rising prices and the supply shortages and in some cases the food left to rot in the fields here in Florida that we've seen through parts of the last year and a half?
Well, that's one of the reasons why you basically invest in broadband is to make sure that you not only have access, but that you can strengthen and harden that access to make sure that it is that you are sort of pushing back against any attacks. Secondly, to the extent that we have improved transportation systems, it means we get goods to the market more quickly, more efficiently. That allows us to maintain a competitive edge.
The legislation also includes some research funding to address environmental hazards. Both of them, in fact, do. And one of the biggest problems we have in Florida is the toxic algae, which is threatening our health and, of course, our environment, our ecosystem, and wreaking havoc on the state's seafood harvesters. With the infrastructure plan in particular, the other $3.5 trillion spending plan as well, does it provide additional support to fight toxic algae? And if so, how could our state and local governments tap into that support?
It does include resources to make both our farms and our forests more resilient, which obviously will be able to allow us to embrace climate smart agricultural practices, which in turn have an impact on that algae bloom. The ability, again, with precision agriculture to be more precise with our inputs will also make a difference. Additional resources to the EPA and to other federal agencies will allow us to also be involved in cleanup. So this is an opportunity to really address so many different problems across the country that have been waiting for an answer like this, waiting for a bill like this for over a decade. 69 senators, bipartisan support for this. And hopefully we'll see the same kind of bipartisan support when the House takes it up very soon.
Secretary Vilsack, thank you for your time.
Thank you.